everyone. Hello, welcome to another episode of Sip and Talk. My name is Ify.
Hi, my name is Kel. So just yes. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. It's so warm.
Yeah. And because the weather is so... Why is that the weather is always cold whenever
we're recording? I was just like, I'm sure it's going to rain today. I bet it's going to rain.
Oh, my days.
Okay, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about life lessons that we've learned thus far. Am I supposed to start my own?
Oh, my days. Of course.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about life lessons that we have learned thus far. And the reason why we're saying thus far, because we're hoping that, we're going to retire on an island in our 90s, sipping on some pina colada. So we are going to be sharing what we've learned so far. Hopefully we're going to live for much longer.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God.
And life is a learning process,
absolutely.
So you would always have something to learn, something to talk about, so that's what it should be.
There you go. So it's I would say, overarching lesson that I've learned. I won't say that that's my overarching lesson, because I feel like at different points in your life you have like seasons and you have takeaways from each season. But I think overall, from what I have seen from season to season, is about fear, right? What I've learned is that fear's primary assignment is to stop you from achieving or being all that God has called you to be. Because one thing that I know is that if God has said you're going to be something, if God has deposited certain gifts inside of you, the enemy can't touch it. True. And so what the enemy does is to either stop you from getting there or stop you from believing that you can achieve what it is that God has said that he's deposited within you. And I personally don't believe that this thing called fear is going to go anywhere, because literally that's what his assignment is, to stop you. And so for me, I learned to not necessarily focus on attacking the fear, but showing up each day, because that's what's going to drown the voice of fear. Because fear itself, I feel like it's a voice. Yeah. It's constantly nudging at you. It's constantly telling you you can't do it. Or what if you mess up? What if it doesn't work out? What if this is not what you're supposed to be doing in the first place? And that literally is either supposed to stop you, keep you stagnant, or probably get you to a point where you're just even tired of trying. And so just constantly showing up each day will eventually drown the voice of fear, because there's a saying that goes, do it afraid.
Yeah. And what I've also learned when it comes to fear, right, is that when you do it, you're like, okay, I did this.
Exactly.
What's the point? Like, why was I so scared?
Yeah. So that's definitely something that I've learned and I hold on to, because at every stage in your life, you would get to a place where you feel inadequate. So what about you, my lovely?
I wouldn't say, so I'm going to save my own best for last, right? So I would say one of the things that I've learned about life is go with the flow. Okay. Go with the flow, because life will always happen, right? Because life is life at the end of the day. Things will want to go left, things will want to go right. The waters will want to sail and throw you where they may.
Yeah.
And sometimes you really cannot do anything to control it. So what do? You go with the flow. Because sometimes when you're trying to fight it, when you're trying to fight everything that is coming at you. Now, I'm not saying just take everything lying down, but sometimes you have to just listen to the wind. Yeah. Because sometimes situations are trying to steer you away from somewhere that could be potentially harmful. Now, pray about it, right? To do what you can as a human being. But just know that your journey might be a straight line, but life will just throw a little curveball at you. Okay, fine, you want to do this? All right, we'll go with the curveball, but I'll deal with it as I'm going. But if you just stop in your tracks and say, there's a curveball in front of me, I don't know what to do. How am I going to deal with this? And then all of that now starts to mess with your head, and then you're wondering, this journey I'm going on, should I even go on it at all? Yeah. Maybe I should just go back to my study. So all of that messes with you. So sometimes how I've learned to deal with things is, okay, this thing has happened. Okay, can I deal with it? Part way. Okay, I'll do what I can. I'll pray. And hey, we move. Let's go with it.
I love it. I love that.
If not, there are times when any little inconvenience, or maybe like 5 little inconveniences, and I just say, oh God, you hate me, woe is me. And then I just drop whatever project that I'm working on. I just retire into my shell, and I just start feeling bad for myself. And I realize, it's really not that serious.
Yeah. There's something that I learned from T.D. Jakes, that is serendipity. The day I learned it, I just feel like it really impacted my life beautifully, because I stopped seeing certain things like, the bottlenecks or, the hiccups here and there as woe is me. Yes, it will make me sad. It will make me sad because in my mind, I'm just like, oh my goodness, so the journey is going to be longer. Like, do I have to, experience this? But then I understand that it's a redirection. When I learned about serendipity, which is a discovery that you make on your way, on your journey. So something that you never knew that you needed. And when you actually find it, you realize, oh my goodness, this is actually what it is that I've been searching for all my life that I did not know that I needed. And that's what serendipity is. So when you're on your way, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to achieve, goal A. And then on the way to achieving it, you realize, oh, I have strengths in these areas. And I like doing this more than doing that thing that I'm going there to achieve. This
is exactly
might be my calling.
How it happened with me for radio.
There you go.
Because if you had asked me initially, Kel, do you want to do anything else? I'm like, no, it's only musical. I'm here for the music and only for the music. Yeah. But then over the years, things have happened and I've gone with the flow. I've worked in TV, I work in radio now. I've acted, own a small food business. I've learned how to create content, write scripts, and all of that. So it's like, hey,
I love that.
I went with the flow, and this is what happened.
Let's look at another lesson. It takes a lot of courage for you to do that, so Kel.
Oh,
for you to do these different things, because these are not just random things. Oh, I've done this, I've done. No, these are like literally decided I'm gonna do it. But anyway,
I spoke about it this way because of what you spoke about. Yeah. Once you conquer that fear of the unknown, to you it's like, okay, I do this, I do that. But if you had asked me before, I'd be like, hey, I don't know. It's like I want to try to do this thing. But now for me, it's like, it's nothing because I did it.
I love that.
All right, so what's your next life lesson?
Oh, my dad taught me this. He said to me, and I quote, baby, you can never reduce yourself to greatness.
I love that your dad calls you baby. I love it.
You can never reduce yourself to greatness. And I was just like, what does that even mean? He then, explained it to me, and I would use in my own words. This is not exactly how he explained it to me, but, when you start understanding it based on how it applies to your life, he's like, success is not, or greatness is not just success. The quality of success determines your greatness. The people that have, decided to maybe cut corners, take the back, but they are successful. They're not great names. And you know how the Bible says that a good name is better than riches?
Yeah.
Exactly. So he's like, you cannot reduce yourself in the terms of, going through ways that question your integrity, doing things that clearly is at the disservice of the people that are around you, all in the name of, I want to be successful, I want to be successful.
Yeah.
You will probably be successful, but that in itself comes with a territory, right? Because that success, what quality of success are you going for?
Yeah.
So always remember, you can't reduce yourself to greatness. If you look at yourself and you say, I want to be a great name, I want to be a name in my generation, I want to be identified as such and such in a particular space or a particular maybe surrounding or whatever the case might be, understand that the journey probably might be longer because you're going the right way.
Yeah.
Just understand it and embrace it. The reason why your journey is taking a little bit longer is because you are taking the right steps. You are going the way of integrity. You are ensuring that what you are doing is not a disservice to your brother or your sister. And when I say brother and sister, I'm just speaking in general terms as well.
This reminds me of what I was talking about one time on one of my Kel on Sunday episodes. Excellence. We've lost that spirit of excellence as a people, as a generation. Like it's hard to find people who strive for excellence.
Yeah.
So if excellence is a part of what you do, you want to make sure that you're doing things the right way. You're not looking for shortcuts. You're not looking at the short-term goals. You're not looking at the short-term success. You're not looking at that seeming overnight success. You want something that will last. And if you have that spirit of excellence, it exudes from your body. It shows in everything that it is that you do. My next life lesson would be, and it was from a former pastor of mine. And remember when he said this thing, it made me laugh. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, okay, he makes sense. When dealing with people, always give grace or give room for their stupidity. Because everybody is capable of at least, I would say maybe 2 to 5% of stupidity. And what I mean by stupidity is we're all human beings. We're all liable to mess up. I can act in a way that is totally out of my character, that even me, I'd be like, what did I just do? Or somebody else could act in a way that is totally out of their character. Or somebody else could just act in a way that just means that they're human. Nobody is perfect. Perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. Even that woman or that man who you're so infatuated with, that you say, oh, they're so perfect, I'm sure their fart smells like roses. It does not. We're all human beings. Nobody's fart smells like roses.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can't relate.
In the same way that you're also giving people room to mess up, give yourself as well room to mess up. So when you make mistakes, don't beat yourself up about it. Be kind. Speak kindness to yourself.
I like that. That's amazing, Kel. Because even when you're just saying it, I'm also thinking, when you do mess up, when you do make mistakes, understand that, yes, you might feel sad because you're a human being, you're emotional beings. So if you're sad, if you're angry, those are very natural emotions to feel. But understand that that sadness or that emotion that you are feeling, you need to give it time. Yeah. The reason why I say you need to give it time, on one hand, you need to give yourself time to like heal whatever the hurt you're feeling. But you have to understand that life is moving. Life is going. And so if you decide to sit there stuck in that rut, it will lead to stagnancy to an extent. Yeah. Where you remain there, woe is me. And the thing is that people love sympathy.
Hey!
People love sympathy.
Hey!
When you are, quote unquote, the victim of a situation, when everyone is coming around you to be like, oh, wow, are you serious? I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, I don't know what, I still can't, place my finger on it, but there's something in us that seeks that sympathy. Like, that, I don't know if it's a form of, I don't know if it massages, I wouldn't say our egos, but it's just like something that soothes us. And you
just want to play the victim, and you want people to just feel sorry for you.
Oh,
like, there was a time I realized that, okay, this thing was starting to be a pattern with me, like, and I wouldn't really outwardly show it, but in my inner mind, I would be like, if people just know what I'm going through now, they would just be talking to me differently. And I have to ask myself, why do you just want to be known as a victim? What is going on here? Yeah. And then by the time you start to think about yourself that way, it also brings your morale down. Absolutely. So even when you have good things happening around you, you always seek for the bad things to focus on, to say, yes, I know that I've been chasing this deal and it just finally came true. But I wanted 5M and they gave me only 4M. So, oh my gosh, my life is just horrible. People just hate me. Oh, everything is just her. Why?
One other lesson that I've learned, it still sort of aligns with fear. There was a point in my life where I felt like, I was a late bloomer, right? I've just always felt like I was a late bloomer. Maybe it probably takes me a longer time to achieve certain things compared to my peers. That's what I felt. Obviously now it's different. In retrospect, it's more of I was living a life of purpose according to God's will, God's way, God's word, and God's timing for me, right? But at the time, I felt like I was a late bloomer. But one thing that I had to understand based on a level of self-awareness is take your time. However, ensure that the reason why you are not moving at a certain pace is not because of fear.
Everybody has their own, has their own journey, has their own timeline.
Yes.
So you can't say, oh, because you and this person are age mates and this person seems to have skyrocketed and you still are where you are, that means, God doesn't have a plan for you or your life is a failure. No. There are so many successful people who made it in their 50s, in their 40s, some in their 20s, some in their 60s. So everybody's timeline is different. So yes, I totally agree with you on that. So I would say that my own next life lesson, right? And I don't know why I'm talking in this nice, calm manner, but I like it. Calm. It's soothing to me. I would say, do what you want to do. Stop thinking about what people want or what people would say, because people really don't care. People only use you for their entertainment for the meantime. And let me break it down, right? Okay, you decide you want to open up a store, you want to sell phone cases or whatever. Then your friends or strangers on the internet will come and say, I thought this one was successfully working a 9 to 5. Why is she now doing business on the side? Then you now feel bad. You now stop selling your phone cases and focus on your 9 to 5. Meanwhile, one of the people who was talking about you has gone to go and open shop and to sell phone cases and is doing very well. And then the rest we're talking about you have moved on to talk about somebody else entirely because they are bored. People just want entertainment. People really don't care what you do with your life. People just want to talk about something.
I learned that a bit late, you know. I wish I learned that really early in life.
Yeah, are you serious? What did you want to do? Your
There's
Beyonce dreams?
I don't blame you. There's so many things that I wanted to do. So many things that I wanted to do that would require me having to get out of my comfort zone. But I stayed in my comfort zone because what will people say? What comments will they make? Would it demystify me? These were the things that I thought about. And I look back and I'm just like, girl. But I mean, you know, there's an Igbo saying, when you wake up, it's your morning. I woke up and I just kept going.
Let us know which life lessons resonate with you in the comments. And of course, let us know what life lessons you live by that have just helped you soar through life. Till we meet again, my name is Kel.
My name is Ife.
And this is Sip and Talk.
Sip and Talk. You're supposed to be giving us our intro, our song now. We sip, we're talking. You're supposed to do it every time. Every episode.
My days.